I think when most people think about wild game or wild to table, they think rustic. And what I want you to think about today is sophisticated. I've got a beautiful cut of elk, the tenderloin. I'm gonna do it with a little bit of this beautiful Swiss chard, some potatoes, and finish it with a beautiful spice mix. The thing is, everything over the open fire means there's going to be a ton of flavor. This is gonna be the perfect dinner for two. The first thing I have to do is start to get some of the silver skin and clean up this beautiful elk loin. The tenderloin has a layer of silver skin that needs to be removed, but you can see on the inside that beautiful flesh. But one thing you'll notice is no fat, and that's why we're gonna flavor it with the beautiful spice mixture. The way that you remove the silver skin is to gently slide your knife underneath and then pulling up and slicing motion away from you. You can take it off very cleanly, removing almost no flesh. With the silver skin removed, it's ready for the spice rub. The type of cooking I've chosen for this is sauté, and the reason for that is because there's not a lot of connective tissue. I don't have to break it down, we don't have to roast it. I want quick cooking. I don't want this to be fully cooked when I serve it. I want it to be medium, even medium rare. So, on with the spice rub, and I'll get this on so it has time to get some flavor into this beautiful elk. And then I'm gonna check the potatoes. Now, the potatoes I put on a little earlier. It was the first thing that I did when I made camp. This is a little bit of white and red and purple potato, and all I did is just put it in with a little bit of salt, but I wanna get those soft and blanched before I saute them so that it won't take too long to cook. With the potatoes slightly cooled, all I'm gonna do to prepare them is slice them in half. Slicing them in half and leaving the skins on is gonna bring a ton of flavor, and they're the perfect size. We won't have to struggle with them on the plate. The next thing that we need to do is season this elk loin. So the tenderloin, even though there's no connective tissue, make sure to season both sides so that you get seasoning all the way through the meat. With the pan preheated, I can drop the potatoes in. And the one thing I like about doing potatoes over the open fire is you don't have to babysit them. We want a lot of flavor and a lot of texture. It'll be nice if they crisp up, so I'll just toss them a couple times. Preheated with butter, and then adding some olive oil. Make sure that butter doesn't burn. The one thing I want to have here is a good amount of fat on the pan. But before I began, I seasoned with canola oil, and it's really important. When you season with canola oil, it gives a layer on the cast that just makes it so it's almost non-stick. Now we're gonna go on with the loin. Just gonna move that butter around just a little bit. Look how gorgeous that is. And on it goes. Now these are king mushrooms, and these are going to be a perfect complement. I love it because they're so meaty. Have a look. We're just gonna slice these in half. Look how beautiful they are. After they're sliced in half, we're gonna go straight to the griddle, and we're gonna cook these right alongside this beautiful loin. Tucking it right in that butter, look how they begin to fry up right away. Put them on both sides, and then we'll season them with a little bit of salt and pepper. Now you'll notice this fire is still ripping hot, and that's because all of this cooking requires medium-high heat. We want to get it on and then get it off. Stay with the mushrooms, continue to turn them, and do me a favor, be gentle with them. They're gonna break apart if they get hammered a little bit. Now listen, I have not touched this loin. Let's have a look at it. We'll turn it once. Oh my gosh, look at that beautiful color. Absolutely gorgeous. We're gonna turn it this side, and I'll also color the other two sides so it's even cooking all the way around. Now Swiss chard is gonna bring an element of slight bitterness, and the way we wanna accomplish cooking it here is very simply to wilt it. Now with large pieces like this, you need to trim out the stalk, chop up the stalk. But what I want is a little more elegant presentation. So what I'm gonna use is some of the younger and more tender. I'll trim off just the thickest part, but saute the whole leaf, sauteing with salt and pepper, and I'll do it on the exact same pan. With the tenderloin cooked to about an internal temperature of 125 degrees, it feels just a little bit spongy, and that's gonna give me medium rare. The most important thing is to let it rest. So let it rest for a good 15 minutes. Don't rest it covered. We got a nice crisp outside. If you cover it at this point, that outside is going to get soft. We want it nice and crisp on the outside and silky smooth on the inside. You can see these beautiful king mushrooms are also ready to go to the plate. Between the mushrooms and the greens and this beautiful elk tenderloin, this is going to be an elegant wild to table meal.